In today's lecture, we are going to study a famous story, Living or Dead, written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was a great philosopher, writer, novelist. We can say that he was a spiritual thinker. He is the first Indian who got the Nobel Prize for Literature. We can say that he was the first Asian to get the Nobel Prize for Literature. He was born on 7th May 1861. He passed away on 7th August 1941. The famous book Gitanjali, which brought Nobel Prize for him, that was published in 1910. It is a book about the journey of soul from this life to another life. It is a famous book. I appreciate the book. I love that book. Now there is another novel, Gora, that was also published in 1910. The another novel, Post Office, that was appeared in 1912. It is also a journey of life, journey of soul from this world to the another world. Steve Birds was published in 1916. The Gardener appeared in 1916 also. Hungry Stones appeared in 1916. There is a famous story, Kabuliwala, that was also written by Rabindranath Tagore. He was the first Asian to get Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. As a writer, he looks at life from a humanist point of view. We can say that he was a true man of universal brotherhood and understanding. His works are about love, brotherhood, and friendship for each other. The present story, Living or Dead, is taken from the collection of short stories, Hungry Stones. Sometimes it is very difficult to prove that what is living or dead person. What is the difference between living or dead? By dying, comments the author that I quote, Kadamni had given proof that she was not dead. We can also say that the present story is a mild satire on our conventional social values. The story begins in a very interesting manner. I quote, the widow in the house of Sarasankar. Sarasankar was the Jamidar of Ranihart. He had no kinsman of her family member. The child of Sarasankar was her darling of Kadamni. Kadamni was going to take care of that boy. She fostered that boy. She had claim of love on that child, but she was sure that child was uncertain treasure of her life. For some reason, one night of Saman, the heart of Kadamni stopped beating, stopped walking. And the family members of Jamidar thought that Kadamni had passed away. They took away the body of Kadamni to the funeral ground for cremation without doing proper activities, without funeral rites. She was taken to the burning ground that was far away from Ranihart. It was a dark night of Sawan, having clouds hung in starless night. There was darkness, clouds were there. It was a starless night. The four servants did not agree on certain matters, and they four left the hut where they put the dead body one by one. And when they came back to the hut, they found that the dead body of Kadamni was not there. Only the empty bed of the dead person was there. They were afraid. They were in fear. They left that place, they left the burning ground, and they thought perhaps some jackal might have taken her body. And they would report to the Jamidar that they had cremated her rights, that she had burnt uh, at that place. Actually, she was not dead. Her body stopped working. And when her conscious returned, she was she saw darkness on all sides. She realized that she had been considered dead and left at the funeral rite. She recalled her death moment in Sarat Sankar's bright house. She now found herself alone in a distant, deserted, dark, burning ground. Surely she was no member of earthly society. Surely she was a creature of horror and of ill omen, her own ghost. She couldn't decide what to do, and she left the funeral ground as and when her first idea came into her mind. She reflected, I quote, I'm dead. How can I return home? I left the kingdom of the living. I'm my own ghost, unquote. She found herself alone in that deserted place. She left that burning place, she left that cremation ground at the time of night. When the morning came, she realized the fresh air of the morning, and she was sure that she was not dead, that she was a living personality. And her clothes were clotted with mud. Strange thoughts were crowding her mind. Strange thoughts were coming and going in her mind. And walking by the night had given her the appearance of a mad woman. By chance, she happened to see a traveler, and she requested the traveler that she would go to Sripati's house at Nishintpur. Actually, there was an old friend of Kadamni, Jogmaya, at that place. And when she reached there, first Jogmaya failed to recognize her old friend, but by their conversations and by their communication, she realized definitely Kadamni was her old friend. Kadamni requested her old friend, Jogmaya, I quote, give me a corner, treat me as a servant, I will do your work, unquote. See in what manner Kadamni was in a situation of uncertainty. That's why she was ready to work in the house of her old friend as a servant. After some time, Sripati, husband of Jogmaya, came. He observed the tense situation, left the room without a word. Now Kadamni started to think, now Kadamni started brooding that she was only an empty shadow. She was among the living people. She was in eternity. And in a surprise moment, Jogmaya herself began to see the ghost of Kadamni. And she requested, Kadamni requested, I quote, Sister, sister, let me lie at your feet. Do not put me by myself, unquote. She, moreover, Jogmaya was living a life of fear and anger. One day, uh, her husband Sripati was unexpectedly summoned to his wife's apartment. She began to upbraid him. I quote, You, you call yourself a man? A woman runs away from her father's in-laws and enters your house. A month passes. You have not hinted that she should go away, nor I have heard the slightest protest from you. I should take it as a favor if you would explain yourself. You men are alike. In this manner, Jogmaya attacked her husband that that he had some favor, that she had some soft corner for Kadamni in his heart. And a new danger arose. Kadamni was afraid of herself, yet she could not flee from herself. Those who fear ghosts fear that who are behind them. Wherever they came, see that there is fear, but Kadamni's chief terror lay in herself, or she dreaded nothing external. At the dead of night, she screamed when she saw her own shadow in the lamplight. Her whole body started to shake. Watching her fearfulness, the rest of the house fell into a sort of terror. The servants and Jogmaya herself began to see the ghost of Kadamni. And Jogmaya forced her husband to inquire about the life of Kadamni, whether she is living or dead. Her husband went there, and it was about the 10 at night when Sripati came back and reported that she had passed away long ago. Sripati explained that there was no need to quarrel about the cleverness. He could prove what he had said. There was no doubt that Jogmaya's Kadamni was dead. At this, Jogmaya replied, I could listen, you have certainly made some huge mistake. You have been to the wrong house or confused as to what you have heard. Could to go yourself, write a letter, and everything will be cleared up. Actually, Sripati was hurt by the comments uh, of, uh, of his wife. But just then, he told the death of Kadamni, date of Kadamni's death, and at this hour, just then the door flew open, a damp wind swept in and blew the lamp out. The darkness rushed after it, filled the whole house. Kadamni stood in the room. It was nearly 1 o'clock and the rain was pelting outside. Kadamni spoke. Uh, Kadamni spoke. I quote, friend, I am your Kadamni, but I am no longer living. I am dead. Uncle. Jogmaya screamed with terror. Sripati could not speak. And so saying, Kadamni left her friends painting the dark house and went out into the world seeking her own place. But it is very difficult to say how Kadamni reached Rani Hat. She passed the whole day in a ruined place. At the time of night, she got entry and saw the boy who was in fever and crying. Her loving, darling child was in fever. He was crying. She wanted to press the body of the boy to her breast. The other family members of the Jamindar recognized her, and they started to say that it is the ghost of Kadamni. And she felt that she was not dead. She made the other people also realize that she was not dead. She is a living identity, that she is a living personality. To prove herself that she is a living identity, that she is a living personality, she took a brass pot and dashed it against her forehead. The blood came out. It was a proof that she was a living thing. And she cried, I quote, that I am living, unquote. Moreover, then she shouting, I'm not dead, went down the steps to the Janana well and plunged in. She jumped into the well and she proved that a living personality has plunged into the well. And Sarat Shankar heard this splash, that Kadamni plunged into the well. And she proved, she had given the proof that she was not dead, that she was a living personality. Thanks.